Hi, Dave Spalding, Handgun Combatives. We have been receiving a sizable number of requests for a low round count skill assessment drill. I've been kind of reluctant up until now, but you know what? With ammunition being between 75 cents and $1.25 for 9mm training ammunition, it's probably time to do this. So we've actually come up with one. It's going to require 8 rounds. But you know what? In February of 2021, that's still $8 to shoot this. So we've tried to keep it as low round count as possible, but still be telling as to where you are in your skills. Now, we tried to drill down on the things that we believe everyday carriers, armed citizens, off-duty police officers really need. So you know what? You're not going to see any reloads. You're not going to see any stoppage clearances because quite frankly, you can go home dry fire and work on those skills over your bed or in your basement or whatever the case may be. But Dave, I need to have a fast reload. I need to have a fast stoppage clearance. Not really. The truth be told, what you really need to do is to be able to do them as quickly as you can, but it's not how fast you reload or how fast you clear the stoppage that will get you injured or killed in a gunfight. It's the lag time between when it happens and you recognize it and institute that response. That's the time that you need to work on. And many people do not. They have a stoppage or they have a reload in the middle of a training session or a practice session. They stop and look at it and their first concern is there something wrong with my gun? Don't do that. Don't ever waste the unexpected reload, the unexpected stoppage, because those are the ones that count the most. Trust me, if it keeps happening over and over again, then you can look at your gun. But don't waste the unexpected stoppage. Don't waste the unexpected reload. That lag time that you suffer between it happening and you recognizing it and taking action is the time you want to work on, not the time it takes to execute it. You're probably fast enough. So what we're going to be talking about here is we're going to be talking about mostly drawn from the holster and putting rounds on target at a relatively small target because that's what stops the fight. Now, you're going to say, well, you know, we got to be so fast. Don't worry about speed. Speed comes from lack of unnecessary motion. What will stop the fight is hitting that person in a relatively small part of their body. And if you take a look at the target we use, it's the thoracic cavity and the head box. Now, I realize B8 bullseyes are all the rage right now. Everybody loves them. I don't use them. I use the chest cavity, I use 3x5 cards, and I use 3-inch squares in the head box. Why do I use a 3-inch or a 3x5 card? Because you can see in a linear fashion, it's basically the same size as the heart and the aorta on that classic 6-foot, 180-pound man. Now let's face it, a small woman has got a smaller heart than a big 6'7" man. But this is a good average. And as you can see, putting that 3x5 card right there gives us a good representation. And you know what? If you can put a couple of rounds in that heart vault, no, it may not instantly stop him, but he's going to notice. So I think that's about as good a shot placement as we can do. Now, we're going to gradually move back with this. We're going to start out at 10 feet because you know what? 10 feet happens quite a bit in domestic pistol fights. The first stage is from the holster, one hand, 2 rounds in 2 seconds. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Making sure the gun's loaded. You've got to shoot this from either concealment or no kidding duty gear. Now, the times we came up with were between me and Bucky Buchanan. I shot it concealed. Bucky shot it with his double retention holster in body armor to replicate that on-duty police officer. So let's take a look at this. 2 rounds, 2 seconds, one hand from the holster. Okay, as you can see, 178. Now, the second stage of this is also at 10 feet, but it's going to be offhand only. Now, we're going to start this in some sort of a ready or muzzle diversion position. Again, you've got 2 seconds, but this time only 1 round. So let's look at that. Okay, and as you can see, 137. So the next stage takes place at 15 feet. Now from here, you have got 2 seconds to draw from the holster and fire 2 rounds with 2 hands. 2 seconds, 2 rounds, 2 hands, 15 feet. Let's take a look at that. Right on the edge, but as you can see, 190. So we got that. Now we're going to move back to 20 feet. At 20 feet, you've got 2.5 seconds to draw and fire 2 rounds with 2 hands. Now, many of you are familiar with my 2x2x2 drill. 2 rounds, 2 seconds, 20 feet. That's a real challenge. That's why very few people get that belt buckle. So we've extended it to 2.5 to give people a little bit more time to get this done. So 2 rounds, 2 seconds, 2.5 at 20 feet. Or excuse me, 2.5 seconds. My apologies. I missed one. Boy, it would be nice if I got them all, but 2.1 seconds, I sure wouldn't have got the belt buckle today. As a matter of fact, you can see I didn't even clean it. Last stage, your 8th round. 30 feet. 1 round in 2.25 seconds from the holster. 1 round, 30 feet, 2.25 seconds. Let's take a look at that. Okay, that one's in. And as you can see, 177. Now, we've got varied distances here from 10 feet to 30 feet. If you want to shoot them at 3 yards, 5 yards, 7, that's up to you. Or if you're metric, that's fine. I use feet and inches because I'm an American. We use feet and inches in the United States. But the drill is intended with a very low round count to measure that one skill, that package of grip, trigger, and recoil control. Because quite frankly, most any other skills that are required, you can practice dry fire. It's this package right here, combined with a draw from the holster, that requires live fire, so that's what we focused on. I call it the do-good drill, but if you want to call it the Handgun Combatives Assessment, that's fine. Why do good? Because it's designed to see whether you're do good, not to make you feel good or not to make you look good. It's designed to make you do good. Okay, I'm not going to do some kind of a score where, you know, shoot this many rounds and this fast, do a mathematic conversion, and you can go along a graded thing to make you feel better. It's like a gunfight. Either you do it or you don't. And as you can see, I didn't. I missed one. But you know what? It's like all handgun combatives drills. It's difficult, but it's doable. Don't practice the drill. Practice the skills that make the drill a success. Dave Spalding, Handgun Combatives, thanks for checking in.